PowerOn is an innovative program that we built from the ground up. It is a life cycle of technology that gives individuals through LGBTQ organizations devices, hardware, like computers, tablets, and cell phones, who otherwise would have limited or no access to the internet.
Since you send those phones and also the previous laptops that you had, we never expected that for the census to fill it out. It was so important. We didn't even think about it at the time you sent it. And right now, Puerto Rico is under 30% filling it. So now we're doing a massive, very aggressive campaign using your technology for that. So we have been using your phones, the hotspots that we got on inside the phones to bring it to the people's homes and be able to connect it. So really has been the word mobile, it really has become mobile.
We're so grateful for amazing partners like PowerOn and LGBT Tech and all our other amazing partners that make that program possible. So I really want to thank Chris and your team and Ellie for your tremendous support. You've really changed a lot of young people's lives through your contributions. So thank you so much.
PowerOn is an innovative program that we built from the ground up. It is a life cycle of technology that gives individuals through LGBTQ organizations devices, hardware, like computers, tablets, and cell phones, who otherwise would have limited or no access to the internet.
Since you send those phones and also the previous laptops that you had, we never expected that for the census to fill it out. It was so important. We didn't even think about it at the time you sent it. And right now, Puerto Rico is under 30% filling it. So now we're doing a massive, very aggressive campaign using your technology for that. So we have been using your phones, the hotspots that we got on inside the phones to bring it to the people's homes and be able to connect it. So really has been the word mobile, it really has become mobile.
We're so grateful for amazing partners like PowerOn and LGBT Tech and all of our other amazing partners that make that program possible. So I really want to thank Chris and your team and Ellie for your tremendous support. You've really changed a lot of young people's lives through your contributions. So thank you so much.
PowerOn is an innovative program that we built from the ground up. It is a life cycle of technology that gives individuals through LGBTQ organizations devices, hardware, like computers, tablets, and cell phones, who otherwise would have limited or no access to the internet.
Since you send those phones and also the previous laptops that you had, we never expected that for the census to fill it out. It was so important. We didn't even think about it at the time you sent it. And right now, Puerto Rico is under 30% filling it. So now we're doing a massive, very aggressive campaign using your technology for that. So we have been using your phones, the hotspots that we got on inside the phones to bring it to the people's homes and be able to connect it. So really has been the word mobile, it really has become mobile.
We're so grateful for amazing partners like PowerOn and LGBT Tech and all our other amazing partners that make that program possible. So I really want to thank Chris and your team and Ellie for your tremendous support. You've really changed a lot of young people's lives through your contributions. So thank you so much.
Good evening. Our program is now beginning.
I think technology is such a phenomenal thing. We have centers that are 50 plus years old, and when they started, it was not about texts and emails, and it was really about newsletters and word of mouth and using the telephone that was on the wall.
That the invisible and the voiceless always need someone to hear them. Not necessarily to always do the talking, but to have someone do the talking on their behalf.
That the future belongs to the connected. No matter who you are, where you live, or who you love, you need to be plugged into a digital world that is defining modern civic and commercial life. And we need to find more ways to plug more people in safely. We have a digital divide in this country where we've got people in rural areas who can't get online, and they feel socially disconnected and isolated as a result. We have kids who can't do their homework at night because it takes connectivity right now to do basic schoolwork.
Listen, in my heart of hearts, and what drives me to do the work that I do every day is I truly believe that broadband access, broadband adoption, and inclusive media are great equalizers.
Who understand that sometimes you've got to walk a mile in someone else's shoes to understand just how important it is to be, a part of their struggle towards liberation and freedom.
It said LGBTQ individuals have special needs when it comes to telecommunications and technology, and there are special issues to consider, such as the internet, broadband, LGBTQ homeless youth, and youth that are just coming out of the closet in Middle America that need that broadband connection to reach out, to find out who they are, to feel like part of a family.
I think PowerOn has been a game changer, both in the interaction with centers, but also for a lot of centers and being able to access equipment and technology that they never would have been able to access without that.
Thank you, PowerOn, for working with local organizations like TCC. The LGBTQ+ community is often vulnerable and lacks safe places. With your support, you have generated a safe space that allows many people like me to grow personally and professionally.
Amazing, because I really love it here. It's really awesome. And I can now finally say for the first time in 8, 9, 10 months that I finally have a place that I can call home. I'm succeeding right now in all my classes thanks to the PowerOn tech that I have. And I'm able to maintain the scholarships that I got that are allowing me to go here thanks to the access that I was given.
I grew up in a very conservative community. It was one of the largest cities, but it's very conservative. And I was not connected to folks that looked like me, that felt like me, that walked like me, that talked like me. And so to now be able to help with LGBT tech and the PowerOn program to make sure that children and now seniors can connect to a lifeline.
I think technology has made such a difference in the way we communicate with our constituents, with our communities now, and I think that's only going to be even more amazing as we look at the next decade. So I'm excited to see what's coming next, and how we can work together to make that reality for our centers and just a really amazing experience for LGBTQ communities across the country and around the world.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for the 3rd annual PowerOn Awards Ceremony. We're streaming this event live on multiple platforms this evening, so welcome to everyone tuning in on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm Ellie Bassett. I'm the Director of Programs for LGBT Tech. And I'm sure I am not alone when I say we're not where I hoped we would be a year ago. So much is still closed or limited. COVID is still a threat. LGBT centers are trying to get back to normal while observing safety precautions. Many of the needs we saw a year ago are still there and still urgent. The need for connection hasn't slowed. If anything, it's growing by the day. The people who need access, who need phones, laptops, and tablets, are ambitious, smart, and engaging. They have goals like graduating college, starting their own business, and participating in their local community. You'll get to meet some of them tonight. The biggest barrier they face, the thing standing in their way, is lack of access to technology. PowerOn is working to break down those barriers. We did so before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and will continue to do so when we hopefully soon return to normal. PowerOn has distributed in excess of $47,000 worth of technology so far in 2021, with more planned by the end of the year. That's dozens of smartphones, desktop computers, laptops, and tablets to LGBTQ+ centers and individuals across the United States, from Alaska to Puerto Rico. More impressive, and far more important than our technology numbers, are the number of individuals who benefit from these tech grants. Based on data submitted by our grantees, there are over 150 people each week who utilize PowerOn technology. That's over 8,000 last year alone using technology through PowerOn centers. Even more use a device they've earned through participation in center programming or share their laptop with a friend in need of access to the internet. 82 devices were earned by individuals in 2020 alone. Our centers report that at least 79 individuals in the past year applied for a job, at least 34 earned their GED or applied for an education program, at least 87 completed schoolwork, and at least 48 found stable housing. PowerOn is proud to play a small role in the success of these individuals, but we want to emphasize that we are just one small piece of the puzzle, a missing link between these high-achieving individuals and their goals. The vast, vast majority of the credit goes to the people represented by those numbers I just gave you and to their friends, family, and center staff who supported them. Tonight, we're lucky enough to be joined by some remarkable people from both sides of the PowerOn program, supporters and participants. We'll be presenting awards to our change agent, visionary, role model, and trailblazer, and you'll hear from them and I forgot our Superstar Center. And you'll hear from them and others about what makes PowerOn meaningful to them and to their story. Before we proceed with the program, I'd like to introduce LGBT Tech's Executive Director, Chris Wood. Chris?
Thank you, Ellie. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here and that you're taking the time to join us this evening. For some, this might be the first PowerOn Program Award Ceremony that you're attending, and I'm so glad you're here. We look forward to telling you about the unique program we've built, the amazing individuals it supports, and with the help of so many supporters, many of them here this evening. For those joining us again, welcome back. I can't wait to share the progress we've made over the past year and the success so many program participants have had, thanks to you. We'd hoped this evening would be in person, so we would have the opportunity to celebrate these amazing individuals face to face. But we are glad the technology allows us to come together, regardless of where we are in the world or the state of the world. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our generous sponsors. Year after year, your support makes it possible to distribute hundreds of devices to LGBTQ communities and individuals in need. For many, this program is a lifeline that allows them to achieve their goals with a piece of technology that so many of us take for granted each and every day. A sincere thanks to our gold level sponsors, AT&T, Comcast NBC Universal, Microsoft, and Verizon. And to our silver sponsors, Apple, Charter Communications, and Facebook. Our sponsors make it possible for us to continue supporting our existing grantee centers and continue to add more every single year. Building the PowerOn program to serve over 50 LGBTQ centers across the country was a true milestone for me this year, and I know it was a milestone for the team, and I'm so excited for all we have in store for the years to come. Second, I'd like to thank the LGBT Tech team for their hard work day in and day out. It is a small but mighty team. From getting our grant cycles together to sourcing technologies in a world where supply lines have been interrupted and getting a hold of technology has been harder and harder, this team has been more determined than ever to accomplish the mission. They truly make the impossible possible. So I'd like to thank Carlos Gutierrez, Deputy Director and General Counsel, Ellie Bissett, Director of Programs, and Kristen Kelly, newest member of our team who joined just recently, but has really made a huge impact on what we've been able to accomplish each and every day, especially from our social media, external meetings, and a new program that we'll talk about in a little bit later. Before we get started, I would like to invite you to follow the PowerOn program and LGBT Tech on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Second, we also have door prizes, and they will be distributed at the end. So be sure to stick around to the end of our program for your chance to win one of them. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Ellie for some updates on PowerOn's efforts to support the LGBTQ community over the past year and throughout the pandemic.
Thank you, Chris. First, I would like to talk about our mini grant program. In the fall of 2020, in response to the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, PowerOn launched a mini grants program to connect LGBTQ organizations with technology hardware. Because our annual grant cycle takes place in February, which was before the pandemic hit, our centers who were applying had no reason to anticipate the spike in technology needs for their clients, especially over such an extended period of time. With support from T-Mobile, we were able to grant technology to 17 organizations, which used the granted tech for everything from virtual support groups to food bank organization and everything in between. And it allowed those grantees to continue serving their clients during what was a very challenging time. You can see full monthly reports about the support provided by the mini grants at poweronprogram.org/research. The next effort during COVID was the emergency broadband benefit. We're proud to have served on 3 federal communications committees here at LGBT Tech. Chris on the Advisory Committee on Diversity and Digital Empowerment, which is now called the Communications Equity and Diversity Council. Carlos on the Broadband Deployment Advisory Committee. And as of this past December, I'm proud to serve on the Consumer Advisory Committee. One of the things that the FCC did during the pandemic was launch the Emergency Broadband Benefit Program, which offers up to $50 a month towards households' broadband service and up to $75 a month for those on tribal lands. As of mid-September, there are over 5.7 million households signed up for the Emergency Broadband Benefit. It's been extremely helpful for those struggling to afford broadband service. LGBT Tech and PowerOn have encouraged our partner centers to spread the word about EBB, and we hosted a webinar in June to provide an overview of the sign-up process and eligibility requirements. We also created a page on our website with resources, links, and other helpful program information. And you can see this page at lgbttech.org/EBB. In keeping with the spirit of the PowerOn program and LGBT Tech's efforts to support and inform all our work with research, we conducted a few interviews with members of the LGBTQ community who have been utilizing the EBB. We shared the feedback and insight we gathered, both positive and negative, with Acting Chairwoman Rosenworcel's office at the FCC. The success of the emergency broadband benefit clearly shows a need for a continued benefit program to offset the cost of broadband service, a permanent broadband benefit. This would be enormously beneficial to millions of low-income and marginalized communities, including many of our LGBTQ community members. LGBT Tech and PowerOn will continue to work closely with lawmakers and federal agencies to ensure the LGBTQ plus community's voice is heard on matters such as a permanent broadband benefit. The last program I'd like to talk about is, it's actually just a brief update on a program that we began last March, and we talked about it last year's awards ceremony, but it's still going strong. In March 2020, we began offering HIPAA-compliant Zoom at a discounted rate to make it more affordable for centers to continue their services virtually. Happy to say that over the past 18 months of offering this service, it has been heavily utilized, and we still have 9 centers who are taking advantage of this service. Each month, an average of 2,500 participants log on to meetings hosted by these Zoom accounts for an average of 147,000 minutes each month over the past 12 months alone. That equates to more than 3 years of meetings if they're all held back to back just in the past 12 months. Now I'd like to introduce our Administrative and Communications Coordinator, Kristen Kelly, to talk about a new program that we'll be launching soon.
Hi everyone. We are very excited to announce the launch of our new PATHS program. PATHS is a program to inspire and motivate LGBTQ+ youth and young adults with passions in the STEAM field by creating visibility of current LGBTQ+ STEAM professionals through storytelling. Through the PATHS program, we hope to inspire youth and young adults in our community to explore their path in STEAM fields, create interactive opportunities to bring together LGBTQ+ STEAM professionals and LGBTQ+ youth and young adults, and help LGBTQ+ STEAM professionals pay it forward by inspiring LGBTQ+ youth and young adults to get into STEAM. We believe that by creating visibility of LGBTQ+ individuals who currently work in STEAM professions and who are creating space in those industries, that we can help to empower the next generation of individuals in our community who are interested in STEAM to see themselves in these roles. We aim to create a program that will help LGBTQ+ youth to explore their paths. We are thrilled to announce that we will be introducing the PATHS program at the end of this year, so make sure to stay tuned for our first season. But first, let's take a sneak peek.
I do think that asking for advice, it's free. Advice and unsolicited opinions are free. And you can take and leave anything that people tell you. And for me, it wasn't until I developed this relationship with a couple of my professors by asking them for advice and then hearing what they said and then applying it. So I'm currently an assistant professor. I'm in my 6th year of this job at James Madison University, and I'm a professor in the biology department. So I consider myself a biologist broadly, and I have multiple degrees in biology. Technically, all of my degrees are in zoology because I was majoring in something that existed. It doesn't exist as a degree anymore because we've changed the vernacular. It doesn't mean that you can't still have a passion for animals and understanding their biology and still get a degree in biology. That's still completely accessible. It just has a different name.
Thank you so much, Kristen and Ellie. I'm extremely excited about the PATHS program, and you just saw a sneak peek of our very first interview. I hope you'll stay tuned, follow us on all of our social media so that when we launch it, you can be sure to participate. As many of you know, research is an essential component of everything we do at LGBT Tech. The PowerOn program itself was formed based on our Connect for Life research, conducted by Andrea Hackel, now Andrea Ha, back in 2015. The LGBT Tech team is consistently looking for ways to learn more about our community's unique needs so that we can best advocate and serve them. In 2021, we embarked on a few research projects that will help us learn more about our community and their interaction with technology in their daily lives. First, our study on the perceptions of school monitoring technologies among youth, which we've been conducting with our partners at the Youth and Education Privacy team at Future Privacy Forum. By holding one-on-one interviews with young people between the ages of 18 and 21, we are learning about their thoughts, opinions, and understanding of the current technologies available to school administrators and teachers to monitor students' online activities. Although the research is not out yet, I will share that the interviews have been eye-opening. From what you think about school monitoring software and what it can do, to how they really feel about it and how they really feel about their private information being shared or exposed. The team is working hard to wrap this project up, and we look forward to issuing the report very soon. Another important project we're working on is with the Future Privacy Forum is our joint report on the role of data protection in safeguarding SOGI data, sexual orientation and gender identity information. With this report, we not only seek to inform companies and policymakers about safeguarding SOGI data, but also to level set about how LGBTQIA communities' privacy has been mistreated in the past. Our community's stories around modern day privacy laws began long before Stonewall, and we really hope that this sets the tone and sets a true understanding for the importance of our privacy and our data. This report is in final editing and review stages, and we hope that it will be released very soon. Finally, we just published our 2020 PowerOn Impact Report last month. One thing this report highlighted for me was our exceptional growth from year to year. From our first partner center, Smile, in Washington, D.C. in 2015, we have expanded to a total of 8 centers by 2018, 32 centers by 2020, and now we have a grand total of 54 partner LGBTQ centers across the country and U.S. territories. COVID presented a unique challenge and drove an increased need for technology, and PowerOn was able to adapt and to meet this need, in addition to fulfilling the program's usual grant framework, resulting in a cumulative reach of many individuals throughout the distribution of substantial technology grants. While grantees had to postpone receiving some grants until their actual physical space reopened, they did have a need for new staff technologies and resources so that they could continue to serve their community remotely. The demographics of these grantees proved to be diverse and spanning all ages, races, ethnicities, sexual orientations, and gender identities. If you're interested in learning more about PowerOn's reach in 2020, the full report is available to download at poweron.org/research. But we didn't stop there. We also developed several resources over the past year to continue educating our community about encryption, privacy, and the best practices for staying safe online. In the past year, we've developed an encryption one-sheet, an encryption infographic, which is sitting here above my shoulder, cybersecurity checklist, and also ensuring that LGBTQ communities know about how to stay safe online. All of these resources can be found at lgbttech.org. I'd now like to turn it over to my colleague and friend, Carlos Gutierrez, our Deputy Director, for an update about LGBT Tech's policy work over the past year. Oh, Carlos, I think we unmute. There we go.
All right. So thanks, Chris. It's really amazing to see the work that PowerOn has done this year. We are definitely a small but mighty team. It's also been a great year for LGBT tech as we continue to increase our visibility and influence in the tech sphere. This past year alone, we have published op-eds on the threats to privacy of LGBTQ plus individuals in the Washington Blade, the country's foremost national LGBTQ plus news source. We have also been quoted on the implications of emerging techs, such as the new Facebook glasses, in international publications like Axios and The Independent. LGBT tech's unique focus and advice on the online protections of LGBTQ plus communities continues to be sought out by press, corporations, other civil rights societies, nonprofits, regulators, and policymakers at all levels of government. However, as always, our main focus will remain on ensuring that the LGBTQ individuals are not caught on the wrong side of the digital divide, and that everyone has access to broadband and the other digital tools that are now crucial and essential to participating in civic life, including access to personalized and tailored telehealth resources for our community. Looking forward, we will continue to amplify our work on encryption and its importance to the LGBTQ plus community. We will increase our focus on social media and how we can work to correct some of the current problems around content moderation, while ensuring that our community does not lose any of the current safeguards that protect our content online. We're thrilled to be looking forward to new and emerging technologies as well, such as the metaverse and virtual and augmented reality technologies, and making sure that the privacy needs and the high cyber stalking and harassment policies include the needs of the LGBTQ plus community as these new technologies develop. We have already published a guest post on the potential of virtual reality tech for LGBTQ communities online. And we're in the middle of creating a virtual world in Horizons, the Facebook virtual reality universe, highlighting our programs. And we're excited to share that work with you in the upcoming weeks. We're very excited to continue to be a voice for our community in the tech, privacy, and policy space in the next year and beyond. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you so much. For us, though, it goes beyond research, as Carlos said. Sometimes we have the exciting task of diving headfirst into the greatest technologies, like VR, the next generation of technologies. Over the past year, we have been exploring XR, augmented reality, and virtual reality. We truly see this next technology as an opportunity for virtual experiences for LGBTQ individuals from all different walks of life. The technology is relatively cheap to get into, and the opportunities that it provides for individuals who may be in rural communities without the connection to people that really walk like them, talk like them, like you heard one of our speakers say earlier. Really, the virtual reality world and what we've been able to see it really allows individuals who may be alone and may not have anybody to turn to, or may not have someone that really represents how they feel inside. They may have the opportunity through virtual reality to be able to connect with them in a way that before wasn't possible. But I don't want to just tell you that. I actually kind of want to show you a little bit of what we've been building. What you just saw was a virtual world that we have been putting together, and it's a world that can hold up to 16 individuals at one time. 16 individuals that can come into a space, and regardless of how they present in everyday life, they can present however they feel most comfortable in that virtual world, including going into private rooms within the virtual world, being able to lock the door, have private conversations with people that maybe they really connect with. It truly is a game changer, and we're really excited about the next steps in getting this off the ground. So I encourage you to follow us online, follow us on our social media platforms, sign up for our emails, because we'll be launching all of that very, very, very soon. So stay tuned. Now to the time that we've all been waiting for, and the whole point of this evening. The presentation of our 2021 PowerOn Awards. We have 4 awards that we're presenting this evening, and our first award is the Visionary Award. Our Visionary Award honors an individual whose work has empowered LGBTQ+ individuals to achieve success through technology and the internet. Our winner certainly fits that description. Scott Saperstein has been a staunch supporter of LGBT tech, PowerOn, and all of our work since day one. He was instrumental in the founding of the organization, has served on our board of directors, and works to ensure LGBTQ communities have connectivity and the representation that they need, not only with us, but across the board and with many organizations. In his role as Assistant Vice President and Public Affairs for AT&T, he advocates for the LGBTQ communities and the unique needs around technology, and ensures that their diverse perspective is heard and amplified. He truly is a visionary when it comes to thinking about the community, thinking about the next steps of the community, and what is most important to them. I am honored to introduce you to Scott Saperstein, the Visionary Award winner of the 2021 PowerOn Awards.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's such a great honor to receive the 2021 Visionary Award. This beautiful Josh Simpson glass sculpture, which I received in the mail, it's just beautiful. So thank you to you and the whole PowerOn team. I believe in the power of connections, and during the past 2 years, we've seen the importance of access to technology and the internet. The work of the PowerOn initiative is more important now than ever before. Access to technology means access to education, housing, to jobs, healthcare, and to other LGBTQ+ individuals. It can be that lifeline that guides an LGBTQ+ young person through a period of crisis. Thank you, LGBT Tech and PowerOn, for your hard work to close the digital divide and to provide access to affordable internet and life-saving technology. I'm fortunate to work for a company that allows me to bring my full self to work every day. I'm also fortunate that my job at AT&T allows me to work on issues impacting the LGBTQ plus community, such as LGBTQ plus civil rights, suicide prevention and crisis intervention, LGBTQ plus homelessness, and closing the digital divide. I appreciate the support I receive from my leadership and my colleagues. A special thank you to my husband, Robert, for his support of my work and for his individual commitment to the LGBTQ plus causes and organizations. And tomorrow's our 11th wedding anniversary, so he's gonna kill me, but happy anniversary, Rob. I wanna congratulate Denise Spivak on receiving the Change Agent Award tonight. Denise, you and Centerlink are doing amazing work. I also wanna recognize and congratulate our role model, Superstar Center, and Trailblazer winners. You're all inspirations to us. Finally, I wanna thank Chris, Ellie, Joe, Carlos, and Carlos for their unwavering support of the LGBTQ plus community. And for recognizing many years ago, I think it's been 7 or 8, that the LGBTQ plus community has a unique and important voice in conversations around access to technology and the internet. You've come a long way, baby, and I'm proud to work with you and to call you my friend. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Great. Congratulations, Scott, and happy anniversary. All right. Our next award tonight is our Superstar Center Award. The Superstar Center Award honors a PowerOn partner center or organization that has made outstanding contributions to the program and to the community the organization serves. Waves Ahead has overcome a number of obstacles in the past couple of years, from natural disasters to COVID. Their team works tirelessly to meet their community of LGBTQ plus elders where they are in some of the most rural areas of Puerto Rico to ensure they have the connectivity, resources that they need to survive and to thrive. They've converted cell phones to operate on satellite service so their clients can always make important phone calls, even when the island's infrastructure is unable to support their needs. They take tablets out in the community, as you heard earlier, to make sure that the LGBTQ plus elders of Puerto Rico are represented for the US Census. Their team of administrators, caseworkers, therapists, and program managers are dedicated to their work, their clients, and their community. And for this reason, I'm very pleased to present the 2021 PowerOn Superstar Center Award and a $2,500 cash grant to Waves Ahead, represented by founder and executive director Wilfred Labiosa.
Thank you, Ellie, and thank you for this recognition. Thank you for the team of PowerOn for recognizing our work. It means a lot to us as we immerse ourselves in technology without prior experience or being so techy. By all means, in less than a week, we needed to transfer all of our programming into cyberspace with HIPAA-compliant platforms and so easy to use. And thank you to PowerOn is that we were able to get all of this running in less than a week. We have provided more than 700 hours of programming every month since COVID pandemic hit Puerto Rico shores. This included clinical mental health supports, yoga and meditation, movie nights, classes for entrepreneurship, and so much more. Plus, as Elise mentioned, we conducted an aggressive campaign for LGBT people and elders to fill out the census 2020. In addition, we were able to accomplish the first ever needs assessment only online and in some personal connection of people living with HIV 50 plus LGBT in the island. It was the first time that we did it in the island. It has never been done before. And we were able to accomplish this task thanks to the technology that we were provided and that we were able to use for these purposes. Once again, thank you so much for all your support, and thank you for my staff and for the board of directors for also supporting the work that we do and that we transferred and that we do throughout the island from our 3 community centers in Maunabo, Cabo Rojo, and San Juan. So thank you so much for my staff for believing in me, and thank you for LGBT Tech and for our partners in crime, Centerlink, for supporting also our initiatives. So thank you very much, Denise, and congratulations on your recognition as well tonight. Thank you, Denise. And thank you, Chris, and to all the team at LGBT Tech.
Thank you so much, Wilfred, and such an honor to work with you and really learn more about your work there on the island. And we look forward to many years to come. Our next award winner is the Change Agent Award. It's a very special award and has been won by several individuals, but the Change Agent Award honors an individual in public service or social justice whose significant contributions to connectivity have helped support underserved populations, including the LGBT and especially the LGBTQ community. This describes Denise Spivak to a T. And as the new CEO of Centerlink, the community of LGBTQ centers, Denise is an incredible advocate and supporter of the nation's LGBTQ centers and community. While she'll be the first to tell you that it's her team that it's the reason for her success, it's clear that her leadership has created a culture of service and selflessness at Centerlink. Denise has been an incredible partner for many years, from the day LGBT Tech started, and really has always wanted to learn more and understand how technology truly impacts the community. I am beyond words in saying that without Centerlink's partnership, we would not have been able to grow the PowerOn program to what it is today, to truly understand what centers need on a day in and day out basis, and not just the largest centers, but the smallest centers, the ones that are in the most hardest hit areas or the areas where LGBTQ really do not have a lot of support. It is my honor and my pleasure to present Denise Spivak with the 2021 PowerOn Change Agent Award. Denise.
Thank you so much, Chris. I am so honored to receive this award from LGBT Tech and PowerOn, and humbled to be in the company of the other esteemed award recipients. Thrilled to share the stage with the virtual stage, if you will, with Scott and with Wilfred. You know, and by the way, a beautiful, beautiful award. I echo what Scott said. It's just, I was so touched to get that in the mail. You know, PowerOn has been such a game changer for our centers, and the team at LGBT Tech have also been game changers. You all have been such amazing partners over the years, advising and supporting us at Centerlink, as well as our centers. And, you know, when COVID first hit and forced our centers to close their physical doors, you all were the first on the phone to us, asking what you could do and how you could help. And I think the numbers that Ellie shared earlier about the Zoom accounts and the HIPAA compliance are true testament to the impact that you all have had. The way that you've embraced centers, the true impact that you've had on our centers and the communities they serve, the advocacy that you do and the assistance and support that you provide are absolutely invaluable. I really want to thank you for the recognition. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife, June, because she truly is the rock and the behind me and the listening soundboard and the person who inspires me to keep doing better every day. And that makes such a difference in my day-to-day routine. But I really want to dedicate this award to the Centerlink staff and to our network of almost 300 LGBTQ community centers who are using technology in the best ways possible to provide services, support, programming, and resources to LGBTQ communities across the country and around the world. You all are true change agents, and you all are my heroes. Thanks very much.
Congratulations, Denise. We're so honored to work with you, and we look forward to lots more years together.
Us too.
All right, our next award is our Role Model Award. The Role Model Award honors a youth who sets the bar for themselves and their peers while participating in the PowerOn program. We'll be presenting our winner with a $500 cash grant and a brand new laptop. And we'll also have a runner-up this evening, and they will receive a $250 cash grant. Tonight, we have two finalists, each with their own success story, helped in part by their access to technology. Danny from Harriet Hancock LGBT Center in Columbia, South Carolina, and Destiny from Out Memphis in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to read you their biographies that they submitted, so I hope I don't embarrass either of you too much, but I figured that it made sense to put this in your own words. Danny Flores is a trans multidisciplinary artist and community organizer. He was born in Mexico and has lived in Columbia, South Carolina for the past 19 years. His immigrant and queer experience shapes his art and community work, which focuses on injustices faced by immigrant, Latina, and LGBTQ+ communities. Destiny says about herself, "I am a person who is determined to get what she deserves in life. I may be knocked down, but I push through adversity, doubt, negativity, and pull myself up. I never wanted to be a part of the pack. I was meant to lead it into greatness." So 2 wonderful finalists tonight. And our winner is, I'm going to do a little drum roll because we don't have anything in person to do that. So, everybody can give a drum roll. Our winner of the Role Model Award is Danny from Harriet Hancock Center in Columbia, South Carolina. Danny, if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you so much. I am truly honored to be receiving this award. And thank you because it is really important for young leaders to get recognized like this. I think that we can sometimes face that feeling of imposter syndrome. And it's because we're so often told by society that we're too young, too immature, or too inexperienced, but we're brilliant and we're the future. So to all other young leaders listening, thank you all for the work that you've done, and let's keep doing it. Thank you, PowerOn, for making that possible. And lastly, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Harriet Hancock LGBT Center team for all of their support.
Awesome. Congratulations, Danny.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to acknowledge our role model runner-up and winner of a $250 cash grant, Destiny. I know she's been having some connection issues. Oh, there she is. Yay, she's here. Destiny, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think if you have a few words or anything you'd like to say, just telling your story a little bit, we'd love to hear from you as well.
I want to say, first of all, thank you and congratulations. That's Danny. Pretty much about me is I'm just a young trans girl from South side of Chicago, really just grew up really rough, and I want to thank Out Memphis for, giving me that guidance to let me know I don't always have to be on the rougher side. I can be more open to who I am and more receptive to the love that I get from my community, the support that I can get from my community, and it really means a whole lot to even be acknowledged on this type of platform and level, to let people like me know that it's people out here that notice that you're doing great. It's people that want to follow in your footsteps.
Thank you, Destiny. That's so true. And we're so glad you could join us. And congratulations on being our role model runner-up this year. That's a great achievement. And we're really happy to have you joining us tonight. All right, moving along. We now have our Trailblazer Award. Okay, our Trailblazer Award honors an adult who has taken full advantage of the opportunities provided by access to technology. We'll be presenting our winner with a $500 cash grant and a new laptop. And our runner-up will receive a $250 cash grant. So we have 2 Trailblazer finalists, Douglas from Waves Ahead in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Shantaria from Out Memphis in Memphis, Tennessee. And just like I did for the role model, I'm going to read their submitted biographies as well. So again, same caution about I hope not to embarrass you all. So Shantaria says about herself, "My name is Shantaria Smith, 25 years of age, born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I identify as she, her. I'm currently following my dream as a barber and hairdresser. In my spare time, I listen to music and make short and long-term goals for my future career." Douglas was born and raised in Ohio. In 2013, after his parents died and the rest of the family disconnected with him because he was gay, he traveled to the warm weather of the South. He moved to Atlanta, Georgia for a few years. After he couldn't find a job, he lived on the streets of Georgia and then moved to Miami, Florida. After being in Florida for a year, he decided to move in September 2016 to Puerto Rico. A few months after arriving, he found a job and a small apartment. And then in 2019, he heard of Sage from a healthcare worker at a local agency. They referred him to Sage, and since then, he found a family in Waves Ahead and Sage, Puerto Rico. He currently lives in a studio in San Juan and works some hours at local gay-owned businesses, plus provides volunteer hours at the community center for LGBT older adults in San Juan. So we have 2 great finalists tonight, and our winner is, drumroll, Douglas from Waves Ahead in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Yay. Douglas, we'd love to give you a chance to say a few words.
I appreciate everything you people have done, from the local Waves Ahead program here in San Juan to the great products that you people are dealing with now. And I just sincerely hope that even though the COVID situation is seeming to get much worse than we ever thought it would be, that at least we can still have much better hope for the future for those of us who have been somewhat disabled throughout our lives.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Douglas, and congratulations. We're so excited for joining us tonight. Big round of applause. Fantastic. That concludes the awards portion of this evening. So congratulations to all of our wonderful winners and runners-up tonight. So proud to know all of you in some capacity and work with some of you. I think this is just a great testament to the amazing people who PowerOn is able to come in contact with and maybe hopefully make a small difference in helping them achieve their goals. So before I turn it back over to Chris, I'm going to do our virtual door giveaways. So everyone who pre-registered for the event has been entered to win. We have 2 prizes tonight. And we will be doing a random wheel spin, which was a big hit last year for those of you who are joining us again. So our first prize is the Everyone is Awesome Lego set. According to Lego, the Everyone is Awesome set celebrates positivity and kindness in our families, our communities, and our world. So that's something I think we can all get behind. So now I'm going to spin our wheel and we will see who our lucky winner is. Joseph K. Congratulations. Wonderful. We will be in touch about your prize after the event. And our next prize, we have an Oakeywood wireless charging dock. It's available in a couple of different finishes, oak or walnut, and is handcrafted from solid wood and stainless steel. It allows you to charge your device in less than 3 hours. We'll be contacting the winner to pick some of the specifications so they can make it what they would like it to be. So without further ado, let's spin for that. Heather M. is our lucky winner. Fantastic. Heather, we will be in touch. And as will we with Joseph about getting your prizes to you. Congratulations to our door prize winners. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I'm going to turn it back over to Chris for just a few closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Ellie. And thank you everyone who joined us this evening. It's truly, I really wish that we could all be together. And I know that hopefully next year, we will be together again soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations to all of our award winners. Congratulations to all of the individuals who have really participated with the program over the past year. And I really hope that it continues to be a really big success for you. As I said earlier, to learn more about the PowerOn program, if you're new to it, please visit poweronprogram.org. Follow us on social media at PowerOn Program. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. We hope you have a great night. Bye, everyone.